Hi, brothers and sisters. The truth will always prevail. And today is Julius Malema, who was invited to Kenya to speak at Pan-African Institute launch, has challenging many African leaders, African people, African activists, and also want Africa to come together and to be one.
Many of you confuse the unity of Africa to mean collaboration or cooperation. We don't want to cooperate. We don't want to collaborate. We want to be one, and being one means we must share the same vision and the same direction. Not all these actions are revolutionary, because we must be careful of French-sponsored coups in Africa, where we think there is a revolution taking place in Guinea-Conakry, only to find that there is a French puppet who seeks to replace those who were there before. There is nothing revolutionary about the Guinea-Conakry coup. We ought to separate that there can never be a revolutionary coup that reinforces French imperialism on African soil. Anyone who comes into political office under the pretense that they are fighting a French puppet, while knowing they are the French puppet themselves, must be isolated by progressive Pan-Africanists. All French soldiers and military must leave the African continent, and this also should apply to neo-colonial military bases, including the African Command Center of the USA. We don't want the army of America. We don't want the army of France here. We don't want the army of anyone. We want African army on African soil. There is a political trend that is being accepted by African heads of state and government, where one country convenes all 54 heads of African states and government. The United States of America, France, China, Russia, and United Kingdom convene all 54 heads of states and government for a meeting, and they all go following each other like Casey and Jojo as a heads of states to listen to one head of state, 51 of them. Sometimes they disrespect them to a point where they put all 54 heads of states of Africa in a school bus to go and listen to one head of state. We must make sure that this Africa is linked together. We must violently demolish the borders that exist between our countries, because those are not our borders. You cannot worship a border between Tanzania and Kenya and come and sit in this hall and say you are a Pan-Africanist. A Pan-Africanist means the first task is to get rid of colonial borders so that we bring Africa together in practical terms. I don't know if President William Ruto means it, because he said so many things and I can't locate him these days, because the things he said during election and the things he's doing now are two different things. I don't know, because I heard him saying we need to do away with the dollar and build our own currency, but his actions are not speaking to anything of doing away with the dollar. The latest being putting a red carpet for a murderer, a person who killed the Kenyan people, coming into this country, receiving a red carpet and being saluted by our own army. This is not a Kenyan army, it's not a colonialist army. The Kenyan army is a product of the Mau Mau rebellion, and those who killed our people in the Mau Mau rebellion cannot be saluted by the same army of the children of those who were killed during Mau Mau rebellion. We have a duty to stay true to the cause. We have a duty to remind the king and Britain of what they did to us. Indeed, he shows no remorse. He says this was bad, it shouldn't have happened. But he runs short of, I apologize, I am sorry. He will never say he is sorry, for because he thinks that his race makes him superior and he's not qualified to apologize to those who are junior to him. We don't want visas. We want one currency for Africa, because our currency can be more powerful than the pound and the dollar combined. But we are not beggars. When we ask for reparation, we are not asking for donation. We are asking for what was stolen from us to be returned so that we can prosper and become a better nation. Thank you very much.
Well, you heard what Julius Malema is just addressing. Always the truth will prevail, and this is what Malema is doing. Of course, you can regret for inviting him, but the problem of Julius Malema is that always he's spoken the truth to the authorities without any fear or any favor. And he went far to speak to Guinea-Conakry that we can't call those coup that has been sponsored by France, according to him, that is a revolutionary. So we need a revolutionary that is against those who control us. He's spoken about Ghana, that despite Ghana is the first African country to attain independence, still Ghana is not free enough, because many of our means of production is not controlled by Ghanaians. He's spoken about French military base in Africa, that now the time has come for Africa to have our own military base in African soil. We need Africa to cooperate and not to unite, not to cooperate, because we have cooperated for many years and this doesn't provide any fruits. So we need now to unite, to remove these borders, to do away from foreign currencies, to do our own stuffs. And I was spoken this, of course, it is just yesterday when I said about the issue of we Africa to be responsible for our own thing. And what I love is that now this institute is going also to be sponsored by economic freedom fighter under the leadership of Julius Malema. This is what we want to see. We the people of Africa, to provide services to our people. These services is not only government who is supposed to provide services, because these services go to our brothers, go to our sisters, go to our mothers, go to our children. So when you see African suffering, it doesn't mean you have to wait the government to rescue the problem. If you have capacity, go and help, because this is Africa. This is our mother, this is our father, these are our children. We need to take those responsibilities, and this is what Julius Malema is trying to address. But all in all, we the people of Africa, we have a great duty to do, to make sure that we sponsor our own issues, we come up with our own project that can bring changes and sometimes change the narratives. Also, Julius Malema addressed on the issue of African leaders being called by a single president. We have seen this for many years, that how is it possible that Africa continent, we have our headquarters in Addis Ababa, yet a single president, a single leader can call all of us to somewhere else. Why, if he want to speak with us or she want to speak with us, can come to Addis Ababa at Ethiopia, and where it's our HQ, our headquarters, the African Union, and we can discuss? Why over now and then we have been called to somewhere else, we have been assembled? I think this cannot bring dignity and respect to to the people of Africa. So the time has come to see that Putin is the same as Kagame. Kagame is the same as Biden. Despite someone is coming from America, someone is coming from Russia, someone is coming from China, someone is coming from Burundi, all we are human beings, we are equal. So we need to restore our dignity. That is what Julius Malema was just trying to address, and I'm very happy that this message has been going viral to many people, so that now we can begin to change. We want to write our own history. We want to restore our dignity. We want to do our own things as Africa. We want to bring changes, to bring developments to our people. We want to solve problems that are in our mother continent, Africa. I have spoken this for many times, maybe because I'm not a politician, no one is care, but I think the time has come for we, the people of Africa, to see how we can solve our own problem without allowing others to help us. We have capacities. We want to own our economy, to control our economy, but you can't do so if we are so divided. So we need to come together. We need to unite. We need to have a single president. We need to have a single army, to have a single currency, to have one military to fight these insurgents and to bring peace in your mother continent, Africa. We want to have a train, as Malema said, from Cape Town to Cairo. We want a free movement of people and goods. That's what we want to see, to remove these visas, to collapse borders. Of course, some people will say maybe security issues, but what do you fear if you, Africa, you can bring peace? The problem that we are not ready to bring peace, that's why we fear. You brothers and sisters, if we decide with the people of Africa, say, now we don't want to fight each other. Now I see my brother in Kenya, my brother in Tanzania, my brother in South Africa, my brother in Nigeria as my relative. You cannot fight. We are fighting because we don't own the means of production. These big means of production are not owned by us. So that's why you see there's some difficulties. And that's why you see our young men and women are running away from this continent. Of course, let me end it here. I'm just reacting and commenting on what Julius Malema was just said